Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in on a very important key concept when it comes to healing through narcissistic abuse, psychopathic abuse, and the brainwashing, the gaslighting, the torture that seems to ensue and ensnare after a relationship with an emotionally manipulative person. And that is really recognizing not only the importance, but the need for you to enter into a new brainwave state. And before we get started on this topic, I want to give a huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. In particular, a lovely gentleman who has donated to the channel from the great down under, the Australian territory of the world. It is such an honor and a privilege to be able to be a resource and a tool of discussion, support, and understanding of oftentimes very complex, discouraging and disparaging relationship issues or business issues, whatever it might be, that have kind of created a snag for you in your life. And love you so much. Thank you so much for your viewership and your support, your input. It is greatly appreciated here on the channel. And I want to thank you again so much. And before we get started, also, I just want to let a few of you know that there have been some also people who have had a difficulty subscribing. I'm not sure why that is. It is an open forum here on the Peace and Harmony channel. So as we're looking forward and really sort of understanding and moving through a very difficult, bewildering relationship with a malignant narcissist, a psychopath, an emotionally manipulated individual, it's very important to, furthermore, to understand the importance to understand sort of the energy of the mindset that is created. And oftentimes there is the hormones of stress working. There is the adrenal that are going into overdrive. There's the experience of cognitive incongruency, where you're not respecting your own self, your own values, your own intuition. You're having trouble letting go of the fear. You're becoming addicted to this person, or addicted to resolving the conflict by staying in the conflict itself and feeling like you have to work harder. You have to continue the fighting. You have to continue the conflict. You have to continue to stay in the self-doubt, the anger, and then not really work through that successfully, and then furthermore stay into resentment, and oftentimes these very negative emotional states, which can be very debilitating. And so if you have found yourself agitated, overwhelmed, getting depressed or anxious, or the social anxieties, the sort of repetitive thoughts that can tend to occur when you are really kind of emerging from a relationship with such an individual, I want you to understand furthermore how important it is for you to slow down your thought process, to get into slowing down your body, begin to emerge into a more of a peaceful, relaxed physical state, as well as emotional and psychological state, because oftentimes it is that twisting and turning, the anxiety, the restless nights, the repetitive, cycling thoughts. All these tend to be very difficult and cause not only a lot of physical stress, emotional stress, but it tends to cause the body, mind, and spirit to become truly addicted to this hyper aroused state. And as we're saying furthermore, that the body can enter into a state of hyper arousal, and this becomes the new normal for the body. So this feeling of having to work harder on the relationship, harder on the business, harder on yourself, so it's this forcing sort of proposition. Realize that oftentimes you have to get over this horrific experience, or this troubling relationship, or now this poor relationship pattern now that you might have found yourself in. You need to really get into a more relaxed body, a more relaxed brainwave state, a more relaxed cognition. Slow things down. Begin to kind of really relax into that and really get into more of a higher consciousness state, so that you can kind of see what you're doing and where this has all been set up. And you can oftentimes not only realize that until you get a chance to slow down. If you're hyper thinking, you're in the the alpha brainwave state. You're in regular consciousness. It's like you're doing the dishes. It's like you're cooking. You know, you're working. You're in this high, sort of high agitated brainwave state where, you know, things can become chaotic. You can begin to have a lot of fragmented thoughts, fragmented feelings. You're not following up on things. You're just kind of you're staying in a rut. Realize that if you found yourself in this situation, you need to slow down yourself, your body, your breathing, kind of calm your breathing down, and allow your cognitions, your thoughts, and your emotional state to give yourself a chance to become congruent, which means more, you know, more centered within, more grounded, more the sense that you can focus and you can then begin to change and correct your impaired state. Because being emotionally manipulated oftentimes can send people into a frenzy. They feel out of control. They feel like they're no longer running their life. They're no longer living their passion. You know, they're no longer doing these things which are pleasurable. And so if you have found yourself doing that, you need to really realize that you can redirect your feeling state. You can redirect your emotional state. You need to oftentimes then schedule these into your calendar. So if you have been deprived, you have been really sort of thrown off, you have been in a stuck state, you know, you need to really schedule in more positive feelings into your calendar. So that's why I really recommend in the recovery journal how important it is to have an appointment booked for yourself, not only for your recovery date, but for your emotions. You need to be able to schedule in these new emotions, these new emotions of peace, emotions of gratitude, emotions of fascination, emotions of passion, emotions of curiosity, emotions of challenge. You know, you need to schedule these in just like you would a doctor appointment. You need to be able to schedule in these feelings for it to kind of take place. You need to really get to the root of it. And oftentimes your emotions are the greatest place to start. We'll go into more in depth in later videos. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. And I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.